Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heidi and my channel is called My Reading Life. And tonight I just wanted to try to put up a quick video with 5 of the most recently acquired books that have come into my possession. I apologize if I look a little windburned here this evening. I work outside sometimes in my job and it was a little bit windy out today, so let's just get going with the books. So the first book I have here to show you is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is a follow-up book to the very popular A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, a science fiction book. Came out last year, I believe, and I read that book last year and loved it. It's a very inclusive space opera kind of science fiction book where it's not so much that the plot is really exciting, but it's more, the characters are super interesting and fun and make you fall in love with them. So I'm super excited to see what the follow-up's all about and hope to get to it soon. The next book I picked up is Classic, 1984 by George Orwell. In today's political climate, it seemed like a good idea when I saw this book on the shelf at Sam's Club. I was like, there's a book that I should have another go at. I had thought that I read this book in high school, but when I read the blurb after I purchased it, I'm like, I don't really remember anything about this book, so I guess it's a good thing that I picked it up again, and I'm going to give it another go. Or maybe it's the first go, who knows. The next book that I acquired in that same trip to Sam's Club, I saw Hidden Figures on the shelf, and I'm really interested in this story about the black women that helped NASA get men into space. And I think it's a really interesting story about a group of people that we never hear about in history class, and we should. And I would like to read this and then see the movie, because generally I like to read the book before I see the movie, and I'm really excited to see the movie, which I've heard is amazing and has won all kinds of awards. So looking forward to this nonfiction. Obviously looking forward to all of these, right? I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't want to read them. I don't know why people always say that. I'm just as bad, I guess. So the next one I have here is Being Mortal by Atul Gawande. This was a real find. I found this nice hardcover at a thrift store for $1, so I couldn't pass it up. And this is about how Western medicine deals with aging and dying, or basically how we don't deal with it, and how we might be actually doing ourselves a disservice by trying to always solve problems with technology and medicine rather than just helping people come to terms with the fact that they or their loved ones are dying, because we're all going to die. And I'm really fascinated by this subject, and I've heard that this book really handles the topic very well, so I'm looking forward to having a shot at this one. And the last book I want to show you is one that I am really, really excited to start. And in fact, I plan to start it in the next couple of days. It's called The Stranger in the Woods, The Extraordinary Story of the Last True Hermit. This book is a nonfiction about a journalist who has been, well, the story's not about a journalist, but the author is a journalist, Michael Finkel, and he has interviewed this man that is known as the Northwoods Hermit. This man basically drove away from society when he was 20 years old, drove his car into the woods in Maine where there were no people around, abandoned his car, hiked into the woods where he was away from civilization, and basically made himself a camp and lived there for the next 3 decades. And didn't talk to anybody. And the way that he survived basically was by breaking into seasonal camps and cottages in the area where he was hiding and like stealing food or propane or other necessities in life. And that is how he was eventually caught, is because after over I can't remember exactly how long. It was almost 3 decades of time. I think it was 1986 when he left his home and drove into the woods and nobody knew where he went. So in all that time, he broke into some of the places many times. And so finally people just got fed up with it and they used technology to basically film it and send out a police to capture him when they caught him on film. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I'm not particularly social, but the idea of going into the woods for 3 decades and never speaking to anybody just kind of blows my mind. So really excited to read this. I heard Liberty talk about it on All the Books podcast, and she's also from Maine, and she loved it, and so I am pretty sure that I'm also going to love it. And these are the most recent 5 books that I've acquired, and I hope everybody is doing well and enjoying some good books. Talk to you soon. Bye.